My mom posted pictures of me in the hospital and used my trauma to get views online. So I walked out of her life for good. 2 years later, she showed up begging me to come home, saying she changed. So I made her prove she wasn't faking it. My mom can best be described as that one mom from Mean Girls with the chest implants and all-pink Y2K aesthetic. But when I entered the 5th grade, things started to change. My mom once shared pictures of me in the hospital and turned my trauma into online content just for views. That day, I decided to walk out of her life for good. 2 years later, she came back, begging me to return home and claiming she had changed. But this time, I made her prove she wasn't pretending. If I had to describe my mom, she'd be like that cool mom from Mean Girls, the one with the implants, pink outfits, and that over-the-top early 2000s vibe. She was easily the most popular mom at my school, and because of her, I got invited to almost every event. When we went shopping together, she always helped me explore new styles and made me feel like we were best friends. But things started to shift when I hit 5th grade. Suddenly, the attention she used to love from adults turned into something else. Whenever she picked me up from school, the guys in my class started making comments that made my skin crawl. I told her about it, expecting her to be just as disgusted as I was. But instead, her cheeks turned pink and she started twirling her hair. "Really?" she giggled, like it was the best compliment in the world. After that, her outfits got more revealing each time she came to pick me up. Thin tank tops, see-through pants, and sundresses that barely covered her thighs. I had to stand there and watch while the entire grade ogled her. One boy even, accidentally, spilled his water bottle on her, smirking the whole time. I tried my best to ignore it and just focus on my own life, but it was obvious that the attention had completely taken over her. It wasn't just the boys at my school anymore. She flirted with anyone who gave her even a second of notice. Waiters, bus drivers, delivery guys, it didn't matter. She had the same routine every time. The playful eyelash flutter, the fake deep-in-thought look, the lip bite, and that practiced soft smile that made her seem way more innocent than she was. Still, despite how embarrassing she could be, there was one good thing about her. She always knew how to make me laugh. No matter how rough my day was or how bad my grades looked, she somehow managed to say something funny that made me forget it all for a while. But aside from cheering me up or complimenting how I looked, she was never truly there for me. I remember being 12, lying in bed and wishing for my last baby tooth to fall out, just so I'd have an excuse to get her attention. When that didn't work, I started trying to be more like her, hoping maybe then she'd notice me. By the time I was 14, I had my first boyfriend, and suddenly, she and I bonded like never before. We spent our evenings gossiping together, almost like she was another teenage girl from my friend group instead of my mom. We'd scroll through his Instagram, analyzing every girl he followed, checking if he liked their posts, and of course, comparing how they looked next to me. "She's nothing compared to you," my mom would say. "She's so flat she could be an ironing board. And that name sounds like a wannabe model." At the time, I laughed because my friends talked the same way, so I figured it was normal. I didn't realize yet that my mom was stuck in her own high school mindset, desperate to keep that queen bee feeling alive. As I got older, I started to understand things differently. I learned about the idea of peaking in high school, and it fit my mom perfectly. But even then, I tried to tell myself she wasn't that bad. Other kids had parents who yelled or hit them, who called them names or made them feel worthless. My mom wasn't like that. At least, that's what I told myself. She made me laugh, she cared about my looks, and she always said she loved me. I figured that had to count for something, but the older I got, the harder it became to believe my own excuses. When I was 17, my boyfriend broke up with me, and I felt completely lost. My friends kept saying the best way to get over someone was to move on fast, but that wasn't me. I didn't want to pretend I was fine or throw myself at someone new. I just wanted real comfort, some kind of emotional support. So I went to my mom, hoping she'd finally give me some motherly advice. Instead, she ordered me an outfit online that looked more like a bikini than actual clothes. Then she said that once it arrived, we'd hit the Miami clubs together, and that she'd even buy me a fake ID. It was like she thought the only solution to heartbreak was to party it away. That's when the loneliness I'd been pushing down for years finally became impossible to ignore. I spent my nights lying awake, staring at my bedroom wall, trying to hug myself just to feel something close to comfort. I kept wishing someone, anyone, would understand me, love me, and make me feel seen. But that kind of emptiness doesn't go away just because you pretend it's not there. Apparently, you can't fill the emptiness left by a neglectful parent with more alone time. So, I did what most 17-year-olds in my situation would do. I agreed to go to a frat party with my friends. I remember the moment I finally said yes in our Snapchat group chat. Everyone's Bitmojis popped up, cheering me on. As usual, the pre-party was the best part of the night, mainly because the actual party never happened. My friend Julia was supposed to be our designated driver since she was the only one not drinking. Or at least, that's what we thought, until she lost control of the car and crashed into a tree. Thankfully, she was the only one injured, and even then, it was just minor injuries. Still, the accident shook me to my core. When we reached the hospital, I did something I hadn't done in a long time. I called my mom. By the time she arrived, I was in tears, ready for her to finally comfort me, to just be a real mom for once. Instead, she pulled out her phone before even asking if I was okay. She wanted to take a photo. I sat there in disbelief as she angled her phone, adjusted her hair, and snapped a selfie of us. Me pale and exhausted, her posing with a smile. After that, she handed me a protein bar from a vending machine like it was some grand gesture of care. The photo went viral overnight. Maybe it was because her top was too revealing, or because you could see her red underwear in the background. But either way, people shared it non-stop. The next morning, we woke up to Child Protective Services knocking on our door. My heart dropped when I saw the social worker standing there. But my mom? She didn't seem nervous at all. She instantly switched into her usual charm mode. The social worker, his name was Keith, probably in his 30s, was clearly taken in by her act from the moment she opened the door wearing a silk robe. She invited him inside, offered him coffee, and turned on that fake flirty version of herself. I sat on the couch silently, hoping he'd see through it and actually notice what was going on. But he barely looked around, asked a few basic questions, and left after less than 10 minutes. I watched from the window as he walked back to his car with a goofy grin on his face. So much for child protection. The second his car pulled away, my mom's fake smile disappeared. She slammed the door shut and turned toward me, her eyes blazing with anger. "This is your fault," she hissed. "You think I don't know you're jealous of me? You probably called CPS yourself just to get attention." I tried to explain that I had nothing to do with it, that I was just as shocked as she was, but she wouldn't hear it. In her mind, I was the villain, trying to ruin her image because, as she put it, I was bitter and plain compared to her. Those words hit harder than anything she could have done physically. They confirmed what I'd feared all along, that she didn't see me as her daughter, but as competition. The next day at school was an absolute nightmare. The photo had spread everywhere, and suddenly I was known again as that girl. But this time, it was even worse. Some kids made fake social media accounts pretending to be my mom, while others joked about hiring her for private tutoring. No matter where I went, the whispers followed. Even teachers gave me pitying looks that made my stomach turn. By lunchtime, I was hiding in the bathroom, trying to keep myself from crying. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing with notifications, every single one from my mom's latest posts. She was uploading even more revealing pictures, tagging me in them, and writing captions like, "Mother-Daughter Day with my mini-me," even though we hadn't spoken that morning. When I got home that afternoon, I finally confronted her. I told her how humiliated I felt, how my classmates wouldn't stop talking about her, and how I just wanted a normal mom, someone who cared more about my feelings than her follower count. I expected her to yell or walk away, but instead she burst into tears. Not real tears, though, the kind she could summon on command, complete with dramatic sobs and shaky breathing. She cried loudly enough for the neighbors to hear, saying, "How could you say that to me after everything I've done? I'm just trying to be a cool mom. I thought you'd appreciate having a mom who still has it, not some boring woman in mom jeans." I stood there, completely drained. There was no way to win. In her mind, she had already rewritten the story. She was the victim, and I was the ungrateful daughter. That night, she posted a teary-eyed selfie with a caption that read, "Being a single mom is so hard sometimes. You give your whole heart to your child, only to be told you're not good enough. Hashtag single mom struggles, hashtag teenage daughter problems." The comments flooded in almost immediately. "You're an amazing mom. She doesn't deserve you. Teenagers are so ungrateful these days." Each comment felt like a punch to the chest. I watched in real time as she twisted the story, convincing everyone online that I was the problem. By morning, she had gained over 2,000 new followers and even received 3 sponsorship offers from clothing brands. At school the next day, everything felt different. People looked at me in a way they never had before. Some of my friends had seen my mom's post and suddenly started treating me coldly. Amber, my best friend since 3rd grade, even said, "You know, your mom seems like she's really trying. Maybe you should be more grateful." I wanted to scream. None of them understood what it was actually like at home. They only saw the version of my mom she put online, the fun, carefree, cool mom who just wanted to connect with her daughter. They didn't see the other side of her, the one who ignored me for days when I didn't play along with her little act. Things got even worse when my mom started showing up at school events she'd never cared about before. She volunteered at the bake sale, wearing a crop top and leggings that left nothing to the imagination. She came to my debate tournament, but spent the whole time taking selfies with the male teachers instead of watching me compete. She even interrupted a study group at our house, bringing snacks while wearing a bikini top because she claimed she'd been sunbathing in the backyard. My friends started coming over more often, not to hang out with me, but to see her. They'd sit in the kitchen for hours while she taught them makeup tricks and gossiped about people from school. I'd hide in my room, trying to focus on homework while listening to their laughter drift up the stairs. One night, my mom knocked on my bedroom door. "Hey, Sleety, I need a favor," she said as she walked in and sat on my bed. "There's this networking event for work tomorrow night, and I need you to come with me." Immediately, I felt suspicious. My mom had never asked me to attend a work event before. "Why do you need me there?" I asked. She twirled her hair and gave me that practiced, playful smile that always meant she was up to something. I never thought my own mother would become my biggest nightmare. Growing up, I always imagined a mom who'd help me with school projects, bake cookies on weekends, and stay up late watching movies with me. Instead, I got a woman who treated me like a mirror she couldn't stop staring at. It started small. She'd borrow my clothes, experiment with my makeup, and ask which photos of her looked best for her new profile. At first, I didn't think much of it. I figured she just wanted to feel young again. But soon, everything became about her image. She joined social media and started posting constantly. Pictures, videos, makeup tutorials, and gym selfies. Within a few months, she had thousands of followers. People called her the hot single mom, and she loved every second of it. At first, I was happy for her. She seemed more confident, more alive. But then her obsession grew. Every meal turned into a photo shoot. Every outing became content. If I didn't want to be in her videos, she'd guilt-trip me, saying, "You're ruining my engagement rate." One day, things went too far. I had just come home from school, completely exhausted. I wasn't feeling well and went straight to my room to rest. Suddenly, she burst in with her phone in hand, filming herself live. "Say hi to my followers, sweetie," she chirped. I tried to smile, but I looked pale and weak. The comment section noticed right away. People asked if I was okay. Some even made cruel jokes. Instead of stopping the live, she laughed and said, "She's fine, just being dramatic." I felt humiliated. After that, I stopped appearing in her videos altogether. She noticed. When her engagements started dropping, she blamed me. "People liked us as a duo," she said. "You're ruining everything." Things got worse from there. One weekend, I fainted during gym class. My teacher called my mom, and she rushed to the school. I thought she was actually worried until she pulled out her phone before even checking if I was okay. She wanted a photo. I just sat there in disbelief while she adjusted her hair, posed, and snapped a selfie, me pale and weak beside her. Later, she handed me a vending machine protein bar, like that made it all okay. The photo went viral overnight. Maybe it was because of her outfit, or maybe because her red underwear showed through. But either way, it blew up. The next morning, Child Protective Services showed up at our door. My heart dropped, but my mom didn't seem scared at all. She opened the door in a silk robe, smiling like she'd been expecting them. The social worker, Keith, was clearly taken in by her charm. She offered him coffee, laughed at his jokes, and kept brushing her hair behind her ear. I sat on the couch silently, praying he'd see through her act, but he barely looked around. 10 minutes later, he left smiling. As soon as his car pulled away, her fake sweetness disappeared. "This is your fault," she snapped. "You probably called them yourself just to get attention." I tried to tell her I hadn't, but she didn't care. She accused me of being jealous, called me plain, and said I'd never understand what it was like to be beautiful. That was the moment I realized she didn't see me as her daughter anymore. She saw me as competition. The next day at school was torture. The viral photo had spread everywhere. Some kids made fake accounts, pretending to be her. Others joked about hiring her for private lessons. Teachers gave me sympathetic looks that only made it worse. By lunchtime, I hid in the bathroom, trying not to cry. My phone buzzed nonstop. Every notification was from her. She'd posted more revealing pictures, tagging me with captions like, "Mother-Daughter Day with my mini-me." Even though we hadn't spoken that morning, that afternoon, I confronted her. I told her how humiliated I was, how people at school wouldn't stop talking, how I just wanted a normal mom. She started crying, but not real tears, the kind of practiced sobs she used when she wanted sympathy. Loud enough for the neighbors to hear, she said, "How could you say that? I'm just trying to be a fun mom. Would you rather I be some boring old lady in mom jeans?" I just stood there, drained. She'd already rewritten the story. She was the victim, and I was the ungrateful daughter. That night, she posted a teary-eyed selfie with the caption, "Being a single mom is so hard. You give your whole heart, and your child still says you're not good enough." Hashtag single mom struggles. The comments poured in. "You're an amazing mom. She doesn't deserve you. Teenagers are so ungrateful." I felt sick. Overnight, she gained 2,000 followers and even got sponsorship offers from clothing brands. At school, people started looking at me differently. My best friend Amber said, "Maybe your mom's just trying to connect. You should be more grateful." I wanted to scream. They only saw the version of her online, the cool mom who loved her daughter. They didn't see how she ignored me for days if I refused to play along. Then she started showing up at my school events. She'd never cared before, but suddenly she was everywhere. Bake sales, assemblies, games, wearing clothes that drew every eye in the room. At my debate tournament, she spent the entire time taking selfies with male teachers. One day, she interrupted a study group at our house wearing a bikini top, claiming she'd been sunbathing. My friends stopped coming over for me. They came to see her. She'd teach them makeup tricks and gossip about my classmates like she was one of them. I'd stay upstairs, listening to their laughter while trying to focus on homework. Then one night, she knocked on my bedroom door. "Hey, sweetie," she said, "I need a favor. There's this networking event for work tomorrow night, and I need you to come with me." I hesitated. "Why do you need me there?" She smiled, twirling her hair, the same fake sweetness she used on everyone else. That was the moment I realized something. My mom didn't want a daughter. She wanted a prop, someone to complete the image she'd built online. And I wasn't sure how much longer I could play along.